Namaste.
Yes.
Should we go ahead? Start? Yeah.
Yes.
We will start the session with the chantings of Tri Omkar, requesting you all to take your proper position. Just close your eyes. Allow your whole body to settle down. Breathing to be very calm, quiet, and peaceful. That's very nice. Slowly inhale. Gently. So, friends, in the last class, we had done the understanding between the breaths, between the mind, and the attainment of the self. If you come to shlok number 26, 27, 28, and even we did the 29th one, where it is clearly said, Ke, Indriyanam Manonatho, the Indriya, the senses which are ruled by our mind, Manonathasta Maruta. You should know that your mind is controlled by the Maruta. And Maruta is
Namaste,
none.
Savirji.
Namaste, sir. Marutaha is nothing but the Prana Shakti in the form of breath. Marutasya Layonato. We need to come to the state of breathing in a very layabadha manner. And what will be the best laya? The laya of nada, the laya of sound, to bring this breath in that state of peace. So Indriyanam Manonatho, Manonathastu Marutah, Marutasya Layo Nathah, Sa Layo Nadam Ashrita. Mana is the lord of the Indriyas, and Prana is the lord of Mana. Laya is
सॉरी
the
सर,
lord
मुझे
of
सुनाई नहीं
Prana.
दे रहा है कुछ, तो मैं फिर से दोबारा ज्वाइन होता हूँ. बाहर जाके फिर दोबारा ज्वाइन होता हूँ.
Okay, sir, okay. He has completely locked out. Now here, Marutasya Layo Natha, Sa Layo Nadam Ashritaha. Laya, which is the lord of the prana, because if you want to bring prana under control, you should come into rhythm. You should come into a kind of state which can hold the prana and discipline it. And Swatmaramji says, the best is to come to the laya of nada, which is sustained by nada. That is sound. Now here, the meaning is that the senses cannot function without the cooperation of the mind, and the mind, in its turn, cannot work without the underlying life activity. That is the life force, that is the prana. If this prana, with the mental, sensory, and the motor activities, are reduced to minimum by yoga, we are trying to manage this, it is called as laya. जैसे कि if we are doing any activity in a haphazard way, we say you are not doing in a rhythmic manner, you are not doing it in a disciplined manner. जैसे कोई गाना भी अगर गा रहा हो तो I you will say yes I can understand you are a very good bathroom singer, but you need to come to sur and tal in order to make it lovable by all. In the very similar way, in the laya, the yogis hear the centrally aroused sound and they connect themselves with that sound. So thus the reduction of the life activity, that is the prana, getting into laya or absence of ordinary consciousness, which takes place, ordinary consciousness, the consciousness towards the external world, which takes place, then the laya yoga is said to be in absorption of the mind and of nada, which is the content of that great unknown symbolized by internally aroused sound. And we have already in the first shloka of this chapter understood the description of Lord Shiva himself. Lord Shiva, who is none other than the ultimate consciousness, as told in this book, Nada Bindu Kala, the internally aroused sound, the internally aroused light, and all the actions that we get into to bring about this internally aroused sound and light, which will take us to the union with the Shiva. तो पूरा कुंडलिनी योग का एक्सप्लेनेशन हमने फिर से एक बार हमने दोहराया था पिछली क्लास में, where it is very clearly said कि all this rhythm will only come to you if you discipline the body. So how to discipline the body? By practicing Shat Karma, by practicing asanas. When the body is attaining that dridata because of the practice of Shat Karma, you should go ahead and purify it. Purification will happen with Nadi Shuddhi, Shat Karma. Once it is purified, you are ready for the pranayama, which will eventually go ahead and lead you into stimulation of the Kundalini. Stimulation of Kundalini, that means you are in the journey from the gross body to the subtle body. Gross body, where you experience the physical changes. Subtle body, where you experience the internal changes in the state of peace of mind. And when those subtle changes are taking place, it is said that the Kundalini gets stimulated. And once the Kundalini is into action, as it starts traveling through the Sushumna Nadi, your external consciousness is somewhere coming to stand still. You are no more with the external world. All the time and everything is like not concerned. For you, the day and night become very similar. They are of the same. Because आपको ये पता ही नहीं चलता कि कब रात हुई, कब दिन हुआ. इनफैक्ट क्या हमें भूख लग रही है, क्या हमें प्यास लग रही है, क्या हमारे और कोई डिजायर्स हैं? कुछ नहीं, नथिंग. Because when the Kundalini is with the Pran and Apan Vayu raised up and traveling through the Sushumna, one thing is very clear, that you are completely disconnected from the material aspects of your life. You are completely into the spirit journey towards spirituality, becoming one with Shiva. So here in the 30th shloka, he says, So ayame vastu, mokshakyo mastu, va api matantare, manaha pranalaye, kaschidananda sampravartate. This laya, which has been described above, may itself be the experience of moksha, as said by some yogis. But the others are not of the same opinion. They say, maybe you are still in the journey. जैसे कि मैं कहूं, अब हम पातंजल योग सूत्र भी आगे पढ़ने वाले हैं. In the 4th chapter of Yoga Sutra, the explanation about the Dharma Megha Samadhi has been given. When the person is merged into Samprajñata Samadhi, Samadhi with Prajna, or the Samadhi with seed, where you are still connected with the matter and you are trying to go beyond and getting established. So, from the three gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tama, you are getting more and more dominion with the Sattva. That means the knowledge is becoming more and more brighter. Today itself in the morning we were discussing, as madam told, okay, first 6 chapters were almost like connected to karma. The next 6 chapters we studied were to do with the bhakti. And now is where the jnana in true form is going to, what we are going to realize and study. Here also, in Yoga Sutra, also, the true knowledge of discrimination as it's enlightened, discrimination between the true self and the false one, or false one, I should say, the external ego, the one which connects you to the matter. That distinction, that discrimination, and vairagya of the matter altogether. As vairagya has been defined, you will come to Nirbij Samadhi, where the Param Vairagya takes place. What is that Param Vairagya? Guna Vaitrishnam, where you get rid of the gunas. So here, something is there. We are detecting background noise from your microphone. Are you getting any disturbance from my speech? No, then why this is saying so? Okay, I muted and unmuted. It has gone. That sign has gone. Okay. ये सबसे अच्छी बात है. देखो यहीं पर the technology is telling us when you are talking too much and you feel you don't know what you are talking, just keep silent for a while and then again start talking. You will realize what you are talking. So the technology is telling me, please keep yourself mute. Something is a problem in your speech. There is some gadbad. I don't know whether others are realizing or not. And when that sign comes in, I mute myself and unmuted. So it is gone. It is no more there.
So these days, technology knows us better than ourselves.
Very true. Artificial intelligence. You just imagine my Facebook page goes on giving me all the details of spirituality taking place around me. Who is giving what lecture and where? So I am imagining how they come to know that I am a yoga teacher, how they come to know that I am interested in this topic, how they come to know that I want to study this. Everything is known to them.
सर आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के सामने रियल इंटेलिजेंस कहीं खड़ी नहीं होती है.
I don't know, one day this artificial intelligence may challenge you and tell you that we will take you to Samadhi, and they may even take you to that place.
होने ही वाला है सर.
I don't know, but this is something which is horrible, actually horrible. We should go with our own intelligence, but pata nahi, Prakriti is becoming stronger than Purusha now. Prakriti is saying, you may be consciousness, but you don't know that your consciousness I am grabbing. So I will rule you. ऐसा कभी हो गया तो गड़बड़ ही है. So anyways, let us go ahead.
फूटने से पहले गुब्बारा सबसे बड़ा होता है, कोई चिंता वाली बात नहीं है.
So nice. That is true. वो बोलते हैं ना कि गुजर जाने से पहले चींटियों के पर आ जाते हैं, वैसा हिसाब किताब है ये. Very true, very true. Like that. So he says this layer, in some people's or some yogis' opinion, is like you are in that Dharma Megha Samadhi, where the Dharma Megha itself means you are being showered with the Dharma of spirituality. Now, we have our Swadharma in the material form, and we have our Swadharma in the spiritual form also. So when we reach into that Dharma Megha, everything that is connected to Purusha is being showered upon us, and that leads us into oneness with the self. Here also the same thing can be understood with laya. So as other people say, no, 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 no. You may be experiencing as if you are one with Purusha, but yet you are not. You are in the process. Now there is no chance of any return as such. You will certainly get united with the self, but understand that now your mana and the prana, they are completely getting dissolved with each other and they are going to cease to work. So he says, Manah pranalaye Kaschidananda sampravartate. And this will bring everything to cessation, that is end. In the next, he says, Pranashta Shwasanihi, Pranashta Shwasa Nishwasaha, Pradhvasta Vishayagraha, Nishchesto Nirvikarascha Layo Jayati Yogina. So, in this state, when exhalation and inhalation are suspended, it is like Kevala Kumbhaka. The Chaturtha of Yoga Sutra. So when this exhalation and inhalation are suspended, you won't be observing or perceiving any other object. No action is performed and there is no excitement. Na ni chesto, nishchesto, nirvikarascha, layo jayati yoginam. Then only what dominates is laya. It flourishes in the yogi. This laya will lead you to the ultimate. उच्छिन्न सर्व संकल्पो निशेष अशेष चेष्टितः स्वावगम्यो लयः को अपि जायते वाग गोचरः. When all the motivations ceases and no actions whatsoever are performed, swavagamyo then develops the exquisite laya. Swavagamyo layah ko api jayate vag gochara. That which cannot be described in mere words. So this thing of this kind of experience of being in that state of dharma mega samadhi, where the showering of all the godliness is taking place, or the purusha tattva, you can say, is taking place, you cannot describe it in words, because words are also belonging to prakriti. The akshara a, e all belong to prakriti. So even when this is belonging to prakriti, prakriti has nothing to do with that aspect, and there this cannot be described in any words. Yatra drishtir layastatra bhutendriya sanatani sa shaktir jiva bhutanam dve alakshaye layam gate. The mind merges into that on which it is fixed. And both the mind and the energy of the living beings, which is eternal and is immanent in the cosmos, get merged into the Brahman. The mind merges into that on which it is fixed, because now there are no more colors or there are no more material coloring taking place of the mind. So mind is like crystal clear. In Yoga Sutra, first chapter, the 41st Sutra talks about Shinavrittir Abhijatasyeva. Abhijatasyeva, shining like the money. The money is the crystal. So your mind is becoming crystal clear, pure. And it takes up the essence of all that on which you keep it, or all that comes into its cognition, or all that which comes near to it, it becomes one with that. So if my table is brown in color, and if I keep that crystal on it, maybe after some time, I won't be seeing the crystal, but I will be seeing only the brown color. Now he says, your mind is like that. It is completely devoid of everything which is colored by the matter or the prakriti. So this mind will take up that which it is fixed upon. And both the mind and the energy of the living beings, which is eternal and is immanent in the cosmos, get merged in the Brahman. So here is where the laya of merging with the Brahman is taking place. 34th shloka says, Layo laya iti prahuhu kidrisham laya lakshanam apunarvasa apunarvasano utthana layo vishayan vismrutihi. They say laya, laya, but what is the nature of laya? It is the state of perceiving no objects, because there is absence of all motivation, consciousness or unconsciousness in that state. People talk about laya. Many people say laya yoga is this, laya yoga is this. There are hundreds of laya as spoken by the teachers of spiritual science. They say, they shout about laya a lot. But to understand the nature of the laya, please take note that once you are in laya, as there is the absence of all kind of motivation, that means there is almost the cessation of the gunatmak attractions. The three gunas are no more in the state to pull you out of that. Whether you are with the conscious or the unconscious state, whichever state you are beyond all that. So here, according to the ancient philosophers, the absence of perpetual experience is possible when the impressions or the klesha or the avidya is laid to sleep, is completely brought to standstill in the dormant state. जैसे कि हम अभी योग सूत्र में भी पढ़ेंगे, the kleshas exist in 4 different forms. Prasupta, Tanu, Vichinna, Udara. Udara is the expanded form. Vichinna is the scattered form. Tanu is in the weak, feeble form. And when we say Prasupta, it is in the dormant form. So when you come into Laya, maybe everything has gone to that dormancy where nothing with the connection of the matter will fructify. They are almost on the verge of getting destroyed. Here, when he says about all this thing, now he's coming across and giving us the technique about how to come to this kind of laya sthiti. What are the practices which will bring us to this laya sthiti? He has already talked about the mudras when we were discussing in the 15, 16 shloka of this chapter. He says all that we had learned, Amroli, Vajroli, Sahajoli, they are all beautiful practices which also bring you to the state of samadhi. But they are which we are experiencing through the Kundalini Yoga. Now he is emphasizing more about Laya Yoga. So he says this Laya can be experienced through the Kundalini Yoga also by coming to Shambhavi Mudra and Khechari Mudra. So here he is explaining about Shambhavi and Khechari. And then he goes ahead and explains about Nada also, which is said to be one of the best kind of Laya Yoga. So here when he, in the 35th shloka, he talks about Ved Shastra Puranani, वेदों में, शास्त्रों में, पुराणों में जो लिखा है वो कोई ना कोई योगी ने आपको इंफॉर्मेशन दिए हैं, नॉलेज दिए हैं. एंड ही सेज दीज आर ऑल सामान्य गणिका इव. बट व्हाट इज वी गेट एक एव शांभवी मुद्रा गुप्ता कूल वधूर इव. Now see here, in the morning when we were discussing that knowledge is better than abhyasa. Abhyasa, practice. But when we talk about practice, practice should be done not for the sake of practical changes in the body, as I was telling earlier. Practice should be done with the knowledge where this practice is going to lead us. That is where the knowledge of the practice comes in. Otherwise, we are doing asanas blindly. इनफैक्ट जितने भी लोग आसन का अभ्यास, अब यहाँ पर कोई बुरा नहीं मानेगा, इनफैक्ट जितने लोग आसन का अभ्यास वेट लॉस के लिए करते होंगे, बीमारियों को ट्रीट करने के लिए करते होंगे, या ब्यूटिफिकेशन के लिए करते होंगे, सब अंधे हैं। सब जो है अंधे हैं। किस प्रकार से अंधे हैं? दे डू नॉट हैव द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द ट्रूथ ऑफ दैट नॉलेज। They are only in abhyasa, but they don't have the knowledge of that abhyasa which is supposed to lead them. अगर वो knowledge आ जाता है, if you are in that awareness of that abhyasa, you will find that you are meditating whatever you are doing. चलते फिरते भी आपका meditation हो जाएगा if you are in that awareness. That is the beauty. So when you are coming into that state of awareness, which is like walking, talking, meditation, that is where you are going to the knowledge profound state, which leads you into this what here Swatmaranji is trying to make us understand. Yes, Sunil ji.
Sir, my submission is
हाँ.
that वो लोग अंधे ना होके काणे हैं. अंधे तो वो हैं जो बिल्कुल टेक अप ही नहीं करते. At least they've taken up, they can see partially.
Yeah,
धीरे
you are
धीरे.
right. I agree to it. I agree to it. जानते हैं, जैसे कि हमारे महाराष्ट्र में ना एक कहावत है, कळतय पण वळत नाही. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? समझ में तो सब कुछ आता है, लेकिन कुछ समझा है सब कैसे करे पता नहीं. तो मतलब 10 बार टीचर बोलता है, अरे जलेबी मत खाओ, तुमको डायबिटीज है. डॉक्टर बोलता है, वो बोलता है ठीक है मैं नहीं खाऊंगा, लेकिन जैसी जलेबी सामने आती है, मुंह में पानी आता है, उसे रहा नहीं जाता है, वो खा लेता है. तो सारी जानकारी रहने के बावजूद भी जो है वो जलेबी को छोड़ता नहीं है और फिर उसी साइकिल में रहता है. नाउ दिस इज वेयर वी आर गेटिंग स्टक इन द मटेरियल अफेयर्स एंड द बर्थ एंड डेथ साइकिल. द मोमेंट दिस अवेयरनेस कम्स, I am not supposed to do this because I am not this, ये एक बार क्लैरिटी आ जाती है ना, then nothing stops you from flourishing in that. So laya is that we need to get into that rhythm which will take us only us in one flow, and that one flow will determine our destination, and we will stop only when we reach there. So here he says Veda Shastra Puranani Samanya Ganika eva. This Veda Shastra Purana are like public women as compared to Shambhavi Mudra. Eka eva Shambhavi Mudra Gupta Kul Vadhuriva. So it is like Shambhavi, a practice, Shambhavi Mudra, a practice which is a very secret, which is a great secret, which is nothing but like a true wife to the respectable husband. बाकी जो है, मतलब कैसा हुआ कि जो इंफॉर्मेशन वेद में है, जो इंफॉर्मेशन दूसरे शास्त्रों में, और कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन और कोई पुराणों में है, सारी दुनिया पढ़ती रहती है, लेकिन अमल में कोई नहीं लाता. पढ़ना और पंडित हो जाना उसको मोक्ष नहीं कहते. पढ़ के उसको अमल में लाके उसमें स्थित हो जाना, वहीं कहीं जाके मोक्ष नसीब होने वाला है. So he is giving this beautiful explanation in a very material language, where he says these are samanya ganika, these are like public women, but at the same time the one who is into Shambhavi Mudra, because Shambhavi Mudra is that practice which after getting the knowledge from the Shastra, we are getting into that practice, and it makes sure that Shambhavi itself will lead you into oneness with the self. So try to know Shambhavi and start practicing Shambhavi so that it brings about that culturization in your mind and body. All the culturing and the conditioning takes place, and you will find yourself becoming one with the self. So here, this is just a mere explanation where Swatmaramji exaggerates with those sentences. The real meaning is, do not get stuck only into the books. After getting the knowledge, start doing the practice. नहीं तो आज सुबह हमने 36 ऐसे वैल्यूज समझे जिसके अंदर तो हमको स्थित रहना चाहिए, जिसको पकड़कर हमको आगे बढ़ना चाहिए. अब हमको मालूम तो है, लेकिन क्या हम उस पर टोटली प्रैक्टिकली इन्वॉल्व हैं? अगर हैं भी तो कभी कभी अननोइंगली भटक भी जाते हैं, फिर रियलाइज करते हैं, फिर अंदर आ जाते हैं, फिर भटक जाते हैं. तो ये भटकना और अंदर आना, it is the vikshipta manaha, the mana which is sometimes straying out, but I come, oh ho, no, I'm not supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be there, so it comes there. तो एकाग्र कब होंगे हम इसमें? तो विक्षिप्त मन से एकाग्र मन में आने की जो स्थिति है वो शायद शांभवी से हो सकती है. So let us try to practice Shambhavi, and that's where we are going ahead with Shambhavi Mudra. He says, Antar Lakshyam Bahir Drishti Nirmesh Unmesh Varjita Esha Sa Shambhavi Mudra Ved Shastreshu Gopita. Fixing the mind on the Antar Lakshya. The Antar Lakshya is the internal object, and keeping the eyes open without winking. It is as if you are keeping your eyes open. Now see here, we have to be very understanding कि आंखें तो खुली रखने के लिए कहा जा रहा है, लेकिन देखने के लिए मना किया जा रहा है. यानी आंखें खुली हैं, लेकिन बाहर की दुनिया में आप इन्वॉल्व नहीं है. आप इन्वॉल्व किधर हैं? अंदर की दुनिया में, अंतर लक्ष्य. So here fixing the mind, antar lakshyam bahir drishti. Your gaze is out. Nimesha unmesha varjita, without blinking the eyes. Esha sa shambhavi mudra veda shastreshu gopita. Keeping the eyes open without winking is called Shambhavi mudra, which is the secret preserved in the Vedas and the Shastra. अभी ऐसे तो कई बार होता है. Most of the time, in a very teasing manner to my students, I tell my students that I used to have crush on my maths teacher in my school days. Yes, and this is the fact. No, nothing stopping there. Let me be free with you all also. So that maths teacher was very beautiful, and when she used to start teaching the problems, the theorems, and everything on the board, I used to be like this. I used to have my gaze on that board, but my gaze were taking me somewhere else. वो जो ऊपर जो थियरम्स पढ़ा रही हो, जो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रही हो, वो ये खोपड़ी में नहीं जा रहा है, क्योंकि ये खोपड़ी में और कुछ है. तो दिस लक्ष्य is somewhere else, though it is not antar lakshya, it is somewhere else, and many a times it happens. कभी कभी हम टीवी पे प्रोग्राम्स भी देखते हैं, समझो कोई सीरियल देख रहे हैं, उस सीरियल के अंदर कुछ ऐसी बातें होने लगती है और हम हमारे पास्ट की तरफ चले जाते हैं, और ऐसे कुछ इंसिडेंट्स जो हमारे साथ हुए उसके साथ में कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं, और ये भूल जाते हैं कि वह सीरियल में क्या चल रहा है. एंड दो द सीरियल इज गोइंग ऑन, यू आर इन योर ओन सीरीज. आप अपने इसमें खो जाते हैं, एंड दिस हैपेंस विद एवरीवन. तो यहां पर भी उसी एस्पेक्ट को लेकर एक बात कही गई है कि सी, you have to be conscious about your attention, and your attention has to be internally focused. It has to be internally inclined, antar lakshyam. So when you are having that lakshya within yourself, on the internal object, and your eyes open. Now many a times while doing Shambhavi, we don't say that you keep your eyes wide open. Your eyes are open in such a manner that they are neither closed nor open. That is the gaze of Shambhavi Mudra. And when I was learning in university, my teacher, Solanki madam, Smita Solanki, who was from Yoga Institute, she taught us, she told us कि पहले भूचरी मुद्रा आपको सीखना है. The moment you start doing Bhuchari Mudra, you will be able to get into Shambhavi one day certainly. And she used to show something like this, and making our gaze focused on it and becoming totally absent-minded towards the external things. And our gaze should be fixed on it, and our mind should become thoughtless. अब वही कुछ concept यहाँ पर लेकर हम Shambhavi सीखने जा रहे हैं. See, by internal object, it is generally meant either a centrally aroused sensation or an image. But sometimes these yogis speak of the mind remaining steady without being fixed on anything. That means shunya. you are trying to keep your mind fixed on something which is nothing, or it can be anything where we cannot define it with the material aspects or the kind of definition we do, which can be called an object in this context here. अंतरलक्ष्य, कभी मैं कहूं अंतरलक्ष्य तो आपसे मैं कहूं कि अंतरलक्ष्य अपने हृदय को बना लीजिए, अंतरलक्ष्य अपने भ्रूमध्य को बना लीजिए, अंतरलक्ष्य अपने थ्रोट रीजन को बना लीजिए. तो आई एम मेकिंग यू कम टुवर्ड्स द अंतरलक्ष्य ऑफ एनी वन इंटरनल ऑब्जेक्ट, बट स्टिल that is a material object. We need to come across that which is beyond all this, and that is total internalization. So in this context, the distinction is sometimes made between alambana and lakshya. We should not take the support of any object to go ahead and let our mind be focused, but it is objectlessness, objectivity. It is something where shunya, you are observing nothing, but you are into that lakshya, onto that lakshya. So the former is always real, that is alambana is always with something or the real, like जैसे कि मैंने हृदय कहा, कंठ कहा, or it may be psychological object, imagining something. But as here in Shambhavi Mudra, it is not about any such object observing internally. Please take note of that. And which is very clear, very much cleared in the next shloka. Antarlakshya vilena chitta pavano yogi yada vartate drishtaya nischala taraya bahiradaha pasyanna pasyannapi mudreyam khalu shambhavi bhavati sa labdha prasadad guroho shunya ashunya vilakshanam sfurati tattvam param shambhavam. Now here, when the yogi is in the state in which both the chitta and prana have lost themselves in the antarlakshya, the state which we were talking about, which is like something objectless of our description with our words, it is beyond that. And the gaze is directed outward below, and the gaze is directed outward but below, with the eyeballs very steady. Drishtya nischala taraya bahiradah pashyan apashyannapi, seeing yet not seeing anything. Pashya, to see, apashya, not seeing anything. So you are with your eyes half closed and trying to see but not seeing anything. Then he says, Mudrayam khalu Shambhavi. That indeed is Shambhavi Mudra. That indeed is Shambhavi Mudra, which is acquired only by the grace of the Guru, in which flashes forth the one ultimate principle of Shambhu, that is Lord Shiva himself, which can neither be said to be Shunya or Ashunya. It is something which is beyond our understanding. And once that understanding comes to us, we will be beyond the all the other external understanding and become one with the self. So this is Shambhavi. I hope this is clear to you all. Again, that thing has come, huh? We are detecting background noise from your microphone. Let me check whether my microphone is kept. It's gone. So friends, if there is anything that we were talking about Shambhavi until now, if there is anything in your mind that you would like to understand, then we will go ahead for the next, which talks about the result or what is going to happen when you are in the state of Shambhavi. I hope this is, you are getting a proper hold of it as we are going through it. Any discussion here is welcome. Yes, let us go ahead. Coming to the, yes, yes, sir.
What is the connection of Laya with Shambhavi?
because Shambhavi is taking you into that kind of rhythm, which is a flow, and that flow will lead you into oneness with Brahman. So that itself is known as Laya Yoga. Anything which guides you and takes you ahead into that. जैसे कि if I am taking Shavasana for you people, and you people are hearing my instructions and accordingly behaving with your body, what happens? Your body gets into that complete ultimate relaxation state. So I am making all the changes which are taking place in your body with my instructions, rhythmic, and I make you feel totally relaxed, and you are actually enjoying that state of relaxation. So that is also a kind of laya. In fact, laya has been explained in many other Hatha Yogic texts also. And there is a talk of Yoga Nidra in this 4th chapter also. And this Yoga Nidra has been explained by the other contemporary yogis, the recent yogis, as a technique step by step to be performed and reach to that ultimate state of samadhi. From conscious state, you are led to subconscious and to that kind of supreme consciousness where you lose complete connection with the external world and you are in the state of peace. In fact, we have done this with cancer patients, and these cancer patients come and tell us, सर जी जब आप योग निद्रा कराते हो तो हमारा ये जो कीमो का जो पेन है हमारे शरीर में ये इतना कम हो जाता है कि हमको ऐसे लगता है जैसे हम उसको महसूस ही नहीं कर रहे, क्योंकि they are connected with that pain. Now that pain is like no pain. Why? The pain is there. The pain is there. But your connection with that external things of the world is getting slowly weakened, and it is completely severed. So when it is disconnected, there is no pain. What does medicine do, sir? अगर हम पेन किलर लेते हैं, this painkiller as it goes into the body, the pain is there, but it makes you not to realize the pain. The nerves are slightly made sedated to this kind of experience of the pain, and you feel good. What happens to an addicted person? He is onto the drug therapy. So the addiction is somewhat reduced because that urge to have that thing which you are addicted to is not there inside you. So the urges towards the material world is somewhere subdued. So there is some technique behind that, some drug behind that, some kind of action behind that. And this action is nothing but Laya Yoga. Are you getting that? Yeah. Yeah. Should we go ahead now? Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sir. Please. Sunil ji, boliye. You are mute. You are mute.
So lay in music is understood as the rhythm provided by tabla. And this is also, I'm learning music and I'm very poor at this one, of course. That's a different matter. And my teacher keeps saying, "Arey, lay se chalo," and so does lay really correspond to the anhat naad, the unheard sound?
Yes, it leads you to that. In fact, every layer will take you to that hearing of the sound. That's what we were talking about, na? The nature of Shiva, the nature of consciousness is Nad Bindu Kala. Kala is the action that you are getting into to go through those sensations in order to experience that Nad and Bindu. Nad is the internally aroused sound, that is Anahta Nad. And Bindu is that internally arousing light, that is the ultimate illumination of the self. So any layer will take you that. और आप जैसे कह रहे हैं कि my teacher keeps on telling me, he makes you to understand that come into layer because that will make it very pleasing to the mind to hear. नहीं तो कोई बेसुरा अगर गाना गाए या आप गलत तरीके से अगर तबला का वादन करें तो आपको खुद को पता है कि ऐसा लगेगा जैसे ड्रम बजा रहे हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ तबला. So that itself is like a disturbing sound. So everything externally experienced without that layer is chaotic. But everything that comes with layer is rhythmic and makes you peaceful.
So very true. And like, so as I'm sure all of us experience, but in my experience too, it's, there is a definite difference with the same song when we are singing just like that, and when the tabla is added to it, there is a mysterious, what can we say, beauty or mysterious something is
Very true.
added, but something very effervescent is added, which makes the experience, at a different level altogether. उसका feel ही बिल्कुल अलग हो
Very
जाता
much.
है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. In fact, जो सुर में नहीं गाने वाला भी इस प्रकार के वादन के आसपास होने की वजह से वो सुर में आ जाता है.
Correct, correct.
The beauty of bringing this kind of rhythm. Yeah. So we are going ahead now. In the 42nd shloka, Divana pujaye lingam ratrau cha eva na pujayet sarvada pujayet lingam diva ratri nirodhatah. Linga, alinga is what we come across in Yoga Sutra also. Here, when we are talking about pujayet lingam, this is nothing but the Atman. So, Atman should be meditated upon either when the Pingala is active or when Ida is active. So, Diva, Din, Ratro, Ratra. So, Diva is said to be Pingla and Ratra is said to be Ida. So, he says Atman should be meditated upon either when the Pingla is active or when the Ida is active. That means you should keep on meditating upon the Atman. Meditate on Atman when both of these nadis are inactive. When the Sushumna will become active. So, Atman should not be meditated upon when Pingala and Ida are active. Should not be meditated upon when Ida and Pingala are active means what? When you are involved into your external day-to-day actions. You are completely involved into them. You are into your karmas. You are into expectation of the fruits of the karmas. You are into experience of the prarabdha. You are still accumulating into the sanchita. And all this cycle is going on into that birth and death. So here he says, ये तो चलता रहता है. तो फिर अगर ये ज्यादा चलन में है, तो आत्मा के ऊपर अगर आप लक्ष्य देने जाएंगे, तो ये चीजें तुमको बाहर की तरफ खींचेंगी. जैसे साबिर भाई खड़े होकर नमाज पढ़ने के लिए, and he is trying to focus his mind on his ईश्वर while performing नमाज. बट नमाज के बाद में कोई क्लास लेना है, कोई बाजार में जाके काम करवाना है, किसी के पैसे आने हैं, उससे बात करनी है, तो नमाज में जब हाथ बांधकर खड़े हो जाते हैं तो ये सारे विचार आते रहते हैं. तो हमसे कहा जाता है कि अगर ऐसे विचार आते रहते हो तो पहले ये विचारों को ठिकाने लगाओ, फिर नमाज पढ़ो. सो दैट इज वेरी क्लियर सब्जेक्ट इन एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ एनी लर्निंग, where you are told कि please make sure that your mind is free from external distractions, and then you should allow it to be focused on the Atman to meditate. So this is how you have been told about the Shambhavi Mudra, that you need to become one with Shambhu when you are completely devoid of the external distraction. So external distraction से कैसे निजात पाया जाए? Where they are going to be there always to pull you out. It is better to observe the today's 36 values that we understood in the Bhakti Yoga chapter. अगर हम उसमें रहते हैं जहां हम सम दुख सुखी हो जाते हैं, दुख और सुख में समान तरीके से रिएक्ट कहने से तो अच्छा है रेस्पॉन्ड करते हैं. वी आर ऑलवेज इन द बैलेंस स्टेट. वी डोंट हैव the grief of losing and we don't have the excitement of gaining. That is where the state of balance comes in. So when this state of balance comes in, when the Ida and Pingla are in the state of balance, where it is possible that the Sushumna can become inactive, that is the time that you should be doing Shambhavi. यानी अपनी आत्मा पे अपने मन को केंद्रित रखते हुए शुरू हो जाओ. As said and done. Yes, sir. You want to ask
Sir,
something?
have we done verse 40?
I think I missed it out.
Yeah, 39, 40, 41
हाँ,
have been
तो
missed out, I think.
41 तो I have done, but I think this one I missed out. Okay.
And 39 also, I think we missed.
I think 38. मैं पूरा पेज ही भूल गया क्या? No, 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 no. I have not done 38 से लेकर 41 तक. I missed out completely. एक पेज ज्यादा उलट गया.
That page, you must have turned the page
हाँ,
and gone to.
yes, yes, yes. वो गड़बड़ हो गई. So I said that we will be coming across the effect of what we are doing as Shambhavi, but I totally lost that. That's what I was wondering. कहीं ना कहीं कुछ गड़बड़ है. ठीक है. Coming back to 38, श्लोक number 38. श्री शांभव्यश्च खेचर्या अवस्था धाम भेदतः भवे चित्तलयानंदः शून्ये चित्त सुख रूपिणी. Shri Shambhavi and Khechari differ in their condition of the body and the place, the point of concentration in the body. And they both bring bliss of laya of chitta. Laya of chitta in what? In the void, in the emptiness, which is of the nature of chitta sukha, which is of the nature of chitta sukha, yani blissful experience, blissful existence. तो श्री शांभव्यश्च खेचर्या अवस्था धाम भेदतः भवे चित्तलय आनंदः शून्ये चित्त सुख रूपिणी. So these are the two practices which will take you to that kind of chittalaya where you will be experiencing blissful existence. तो हमने इसके बारे में तो पढ़ लिया, शांभवी के बारे में. आगे वो कहते हैं तारे ज्योतिषी संयोज्य किंचिद उन्नामयेद भ्रुवौ पूर्व योगम मनो युंज उन्मनी कारकः क्षणात्. Directing the eyes towards the centrally aroused light and raising the eyebrows a little, keeping the mind busy with the yoga as previously described, soon leads to attainment of state of Unmani. Tare Jyotishi Sanyojya, directing the eyes towards the centrally aroused light and kinchid unnamayed bhruvau, slightly raising the eyebrows a little. Purva yogam mano yunjam unmani karakaha, keeping the mind busy as with the yoga as previously described, one soon attains the state of unmani. It is like, a kind of experience when you are trying to direct your mind into shunya and or ashunya, which is beyond shunya or ashunya, the state of shambhu, becoming one with it. Then as you are in that, you should raise your eyebrows. Now here, raising of the eyebrows literally means lifting yourself from the grosser aspect of your existence to subtler aspect. You may be in total sattva, but in that sattva also, there is higher sattva. The sattva which is connected to the matter and the sattva which is very close beyond the matter, to take you beyond the matter. So the sattva which is very close to take you beyond the matter is very much full of clarity, very much full of the essence of consciousness, that is Purusha Tattva. And once you are connected with that, you should lead yourself by raising your eyebrows and having a feeling that your mind is still going upward to that subtleness of your existence and attaining to the state of Unmani. That means even in this experience of Shambhavi Mudra, you should be always connected that you are going to get that Unmani Avastha. You should be always trying to reach to that Unmani Avastha. That intention of reaching there should be always maintained. Kechid agama jalena, kechin nigama sankulaihi, kechit karna muhyanti naiva jananti tarakam. And that's what here he is making us to have this clarity. Some are deluded by conflicting views expressed in the agamas. Agama are nothing but the scriptures. Others are by those nigamas. These are also scriptures. And still, others are deluded by their own reasoning. There are others. Actually, this shloka should be taken as a very important one in today's scenario. Well, people are free to comment on anything as per their own understanding and impose it upon their students कि नहीं आपको इसी तरह से करना है. They are not understanding the traditional approach of the text. So here there are people who are deluded by the conflicting views expressed in the agamas, a way of understanding of the subject given in the scriptures. Others are getting confused because of the nigamas. Now, agama and nigama, they are nothing but the scriptures, sacred books, you can say. And there are still other people who are deluded by their own concept of reasoning. No one knows that which would be really leading you into liberation. You have to keep all the knowledge aside and you have to be truly in the practice. Then only you will know what is going to lead you into liberation. नहीं तो मार्केट में ऐसे लोग हैं, मैं मार्केट ही बोलता हूँ इसको, मार्केट में ऐसे कई लोग हैं जो कहते हैं आइए हम शक्तिपात के द्वारा आपकी कुंडलिनी जागृत करके आपको मोक्ष के तरफ ले जाएंगे. And people go to such people and they try to experience the changes. Sometimes they may be having some meaning in the action, but at the same time, whether your body is prepared to go through that action is the first question. So do not do anything which may bring about lot of confusion and you may end up becoming insane. You may not be in the sanity that you are supposed to be as a yogi. You may lose the complete sense of understanding and you may become insane. यही बात हमको प्राणायाम में कही गई थी. युक्त अभ्यास योगेन सर्वरोग क्षयो भवेत्. But at the same time it is said अयुक्त अभ्यास सर्वरोग समुद्भवः. So we need to know what is the right practice and what is the wrong practice. Just by having the knowledge from the books is not enough. We need to have that margdarshan of a guru as we are into the practice and continuously be connected to the sadhana so that we are going ahead. So here he is again explaining to us about Shambhavi in the next shloka, 41st shloka, where he says, Ardhan milita lochanah स्थिरमना नासागर दत्तक्षणः चंद्रार्काव अपि लीनता मूनप निष्पन्द भावेन यः. No, the nishpanda bhav, without any kind of sensation. Leenata munapayan nishpanda bhavena yaha jyotir rupam शेष बीजम अखिलम देद देद देदी विमानम परम तत्वम तद पद्म इति वस्तु परम वाच्यम किमत्र अधिकम. Slightly, yes sir.
No, I was just reading it. Dedipyamanam param. मीलित लोचन स्थिरमना नासाग्रदत्ते क्षणः चंद्रार्कावपि लीनतामुनपयन् निष्पन्द भावेन यो ज्योतिरूपमशेष बीजमखिलं देदीप्यमानं परं तत्त्वं तत्पदमेति वस्तु परमं वाच्यं किमत्राधिकम्.
Beautiful. Now here the explanation is the yogi who with his half closed eyes, ardha unmilita लोचना, अर्धोन्मिलित लोचन यानी half closed eyes, स्थिर मना Nasagra Daptakshena, where it is directed on the tip of the nose. It, first of all, your eyes are half closed and the gaze is directed towards the tip of the nose. And Chandrarkava api Leenata. See here, the composed state of mind minimizes all the activities, including those of Ida and Pingla. Everything is coming to Nishpanda Bhava. There is no action as such, and you are coming to a state of no sensations, including those of Ida and Pingla. Now, here one is certainly going to realize the state of ultimate reality, which itself is of the nature. What is that nature? Jyoti Rupam Shesh Bijam Akhilam. Being the nature of the light is the source of all. And when that ultimate reality itself being of the nature of light illumines everything, Dedi Apimanam Param Tatvam Tatpadam Iti Vastu Param Vachyam Kimatra Adhikam. Once you have realized this, what more you need to be said about that ultimate state? So this beautiful explanation as a result of coming across the Shambhavi Mudra. And that's what we read in the 42nd shloka. Diva na pujayet lingam ratro cha eva na pujayet sarvada pujayet lingam divaratri nirodhataha, where I said that in this manner you should be always meditating upon Atman without getting into the attractions of Pingala and Ida. In fact, when you are distracted by the external world, first try to find out the means to get rid of them. Keep them at bay. Train your mind and body to get disconnected out of them. And once that is done, meditate on Atman only. And this is like, only when the Sushumna is active and the rest is completely at rest. So this is how the whole Shambhavi is understood. Anything else you would like to discuss here with this explanation? Ashutosh sir read that shloka beautifully. Sir, what do you have understood out of it as a meaning?
Third line of that shloka says that it has the nature of light. It looks like Jyoti Rupam. And I think in the 13th chapter of Gita, there is a verse, 17th verse also talks about Jyoti, which we are going to study next time in the Gita.
Yes.
So, Jyoti
Yes,
Rupam is the... Nowhere earlier we had come across Jyoti Rupam, though we had come across Nada Bindu Kala. In that Bindu was there, but now is Bindu the same as Jyoti?
Yes, it is same. It is same.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the beautiful understanding. Next, we are going towards the Khechari. In the 3rd chapter of this text, we have already studied about Khechari. And what is that Khechari? It is like severing of the frenum of the tongue, letting it completely turned upward, making it elongated by doing it stretching and leading it to the bhrumadhya, to the chin, to the sides of the eyes, and making it elongated, and then insert it into the nasopharyngeal tract. As you're inserting it into that track or the passage towards the skull, the strava of Chandra through the bindu, which is here in the skull, which is getting exhumed because of dropping into the jatara, is getting absorbed by your organ, that is your tongue. And when that is completely absorbed there, the lower body is not exposed to that strava or that secretion, and the body is getting heated up and all the energies are rising up as if it is trying to pull So Kundalini is awakened and it goes up. Now this can be experienced only when we are doing the practice. And Swamiji here is telling us about this same Khechari Mudra, which will take us into the experience of Rasa Ananda. And Rasa Ananda itself is Laya Yoga. So which is that Rasa Ananda? Rasa is the strava which is taking place from this bindu. और उसके आनंद में पूरी तरह से विलीन हो जाना, नहीं से हो जाना. That itself is like taking you into samadhi. So here we are going to understand about Khechari now. He says, Atha Khechari, Savya Dakshina Nadistato, Savya Dakshina Nadistho, Madhye Charati Marutaha, Tishtate Khechari Mudra, Tasmin Sthane na Sanshaya, Ida Pinglaya Yor Madhye, Shunyam Cha Eva Anilam, Grasit, Tishtate Khechari Mudra, Tatra Satyam Punaha Punaha. Now here, the other one which was talked about was Khechari Mudra is no doubt established in the body in which the prana turns its course from the left and the right nadis towards the Sushumna nadi. That is what is being said. And the 44th slok says, when the Sushumna nadi is becoming active, when the Shunya between the Ida and the Pingla seizes the prana, Khechari is established. That means the traveling of the Kundalini through the Sushumna itself means that the energy resources from the down is rising up, and that itself is nothing but the expectation, the resemblance of Khechari. K is sky, and Chari is to wander in the sky, to travel towards the sky. And that's what it is said. Okay, this is the truth. This again is the truth. As it says, Satyam Punaha Punaha. Let me make you understand that this is the truth that one experiences. In fact, I still remember when Guruji was taking the class, he just told, whenever you are practicing Hatha Yogic practices, you will be able to do justice to Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, as well as Bhakti. Unless and until you have that kind of dedication towards this kind of experience, to lead yourself into that Brahman, and unless and until you have this kind of surrendering attitude, is it possible to get along with that? Very difficult. So bhakti is there. Unless and until you have the jnana of that Brahman and having that belief, yes, this practice is going to lead us there because this knowledge is there. Belief is knowledge. And unless and until you are into it, you won't reach there. So jnana yoga is there. And all these actions which you are performing in order to experience this jnana and bhakti is nothing but karma. So he says, when we are practicing hatha yoga, you will become nipuna in karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. This is the essence of raja yoga. So naturally, hatha yoga is leading you into raja yoga. So raja yoga may be said as royal yoga or dhyana yoga. As per Bhagavad Gita, in the 6th chapter, we studied Dhyana Yoga, where we are told to let our mind to be focused on Brahman, sitting in that beautiful lotus pose, keeping our head, neck, and spine or the back in one line. So you will be prepared to that state. You will be made ready. You will be able to go through those preparations to be stable in this state and attain spirituality. I would like to stop here. We can have 5 minutes of discussion on this, and then in the next class, we will complete Khechari and start with Nadanusandhan, which is again a very beautiful understanding, because Khechari is telling us about a lot on how the Samadhi takes place and how Yoga Nidra brings into consideration. So we will be learning about Yoga Nidra in this very 4th chapter in the next class itself. And that Yoga Nidra is like Nidra in Yoga. Yoga itself is awareness. That means Nidra with full awareness. is what we are going to learn and understand in the next class. Okay. So anything that you would like to discuss and share? In fact, Khechri mein aaj lena hi nahi chahta tha, but I have still taken the first verse and we are beyond that now. So we will go ahead and understand the other shlokas also later on. But now if there is anything there in your mind that you would like to share or discuss, we should go ahead. Or should we go ahead for the next verse?
In morning practice, we are going to learn Shambhavi Mudra also.
We will learn Shambhavi Mudra, but whether you are going into that Shunya, Ashunya Sthiti, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Shambhavi without Shunyaka and Ashunyaka and going beyond it is not Shambhavi. So we will do it. We will do it. In fact, whenever you see Lord Shiva, whether he is in that Murti form or in the photo form, you will see his eyes always in that Shambhavi Mudra. Half closed eyes. Have you ever noticed that? So it is like that. And there are people, I still remember where once I was in Rishikesh and one person told me, I will show you how Shambhavi Mudra. And he really frightened me. When he was looking at me, his eyeballs were truly at me. And then he turned his eyes completely upward and backward and made the whole white color visible. And his eyelids were up and his eyebrows were up. And I was frightened. And he was in that state for almost more than a minute or two, you can say. And we could literally make it out that his breaths were not functioning. His breaths were standstill and he was at peace in that position. And then it was up to him when to come out, and he just came out and just told me कि आप लोग तो खाली पढ़ाते हो, हम तो इसका अभ्यास करते हैं, क्या आप कर सकते हैं? So I said thank you very much, but I am not to that level of yours to do this right now. We are still preliminary student. We are still in KG, not even senior KG. We are in lower KG. So excuse us. It was like that. There are people who do it, and practicing it really needs your own understanding of the subject. You need your own instructions. You need your own understanding. You need your own belief system to make you realize. Because when I will be taking the class, I will be giving instructions and you will be listening to my instructions and doing it. That means your Idas and Pinglas are still active. We are talking about going beyond them, completely making them ceased. So listening to the instructions and going through the practice may be a preliminary practice of Shambhavi, but actually not the practice. Shambhavi can be done only by the person, by himself, and that too only when he has prepared himself with all the stages: asana, pranayama, mudra. If he has gone through all these 3 chapters and brought it into his culturization, complete action, then he can go ahead with that. So that's how I understand Shambhavi, sir. I hope I have made it clear to you. And there are people who regularly practice Shambhavi, they go into it and they come out of it and they feel good. So I don't know whether it is Shambhavi or it is something else. But at the same time, it is just a gesture of practicing Shambhavi. As we say, it is a mudra, but not in reality. Because Shambhavi is totally different from the technique. It is an experience of the same, which has to come. So here it is time up. We should stop here. We will go ahead and wind up the session. Thank you very much. Sunil bhai, you are mute.
Oh. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णम् उदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णम् आदाय पूर्णम् एव अवशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Thank you. Alright, so we have 13 minutes. I think this time, okay, Jaykumar, would you like to facilitate this session?
So let's start from Sunilji.
Huh?
We can start from you, sir.
All right, fine. Sure. As you you are the facilitator, sir. If you say I have to. So for one, just like I was telling Mahendra yesterday on the phone last night, with the weather change, I find my own ease, increasing. Just day before, no, yesterday only, I used to wear the inners at the bottom, and now I didn't feel the need because warm enough. So, what a difference it made, वो ऐसा लगा पाँव बिल्कुल जैसे खुल गए. Whereas with that, obviously there is मतलब वो ऐसे बंधन की फीलिंग से महसूस होती है. But more than that also, I think जो डेफिनेटली जनवरी में बहुत परेशानी मेरे को महसूस हुई थी, फरवरी में हुई, थोड़ी कम हुई. शायद वो वायु बात ज्यादा बढ़ने से, क्योंकि विंटर सीजन में ड्राई एंड कोल्ड क्वालिटीज पॉसिबली उसका थोड़ा सा इफेक्ट था. तो ये हफ्ता मतलब मजा ज्यादा आया, which is why Monday to Friday I was there. सैटरडे इसलिए नहीं आ पाया बिकॉज आई जस्ट कुंट. 11:15 बजे रात को उठ गया था. कभी कभी घर में कुछ कुछ होता रहता है, तो उस वजह से थोड़ा माइंड डिस्टर्ब था, इस वजह से मैं नहीं आ पाया. बस मैंने जय कुमार को जस्ट प्रीवियस डे बोला था कि जय कुमार, नाउ इफ इट्स ओके विद यू, आई वुड लाइक टू टेक द क्लास ऑन सैटरडे. तो इसे ठीक है जरूर. लेकिन वो, बट आई एम ओनली सेइंग कि my own stiffness apart, वो तो जो है सो है, but the weather has helped make the practice more pleasing. And also another indicator is कि मैं शाम वाली जो practice जो मैं हमेशा चेष्टा करता हूँ कि सुबह तो जो अपन सीख रहे हैं, शाम को उसको implement करने का और अपने actual अनुभव करने का समय है. तो I was much more regular in the evening practices this week as compared the last 2 months. So, but also, sir, speaking to Ashutosh sir's, thing last time, वो अभी भी I find कि practices करने के बाद almost every other I just go back and lie down, और मुझे कई बार नींद भी आ जाती है actually. हाँ, पर ये मैं still prefer वो जो समझिए जो हाई होता है, एनर्जी जो होती है, जो फीलिंग होती है, वो सोने से तो फिर जरा प्रैक्टिस रिलैक्स नहीं हो तो प्रैक्टिस कोई भी अच्छी से अच्छी अगर बेकार नहीं है तो कम से कम ऑप्टिमल नहीं है. तो फरवरी में भी मैं ये अपने आप बॉडी को एनकरेज किया. हालांकि अब मार्च में वो माय वाइफ वाज सेइंग, आरती कह रही थी, भाई क्या है नाश्ता सुबह 7:30 पौने 8 बन जाता है और आप उसको 10 बजे खाते हो, 11 बजे खाते हो. मैंने कहा भाई फरवरी में भी थोड़ा सा भी आप मेरे को लैटिट्यूड दे दो, इसके बाद मैं रेगुलर रहूंगा. तो लेट अस सी, शायद मार्च में वो जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. बट एनीवे, दैट इज सो फार एज माय प्रैक्टिस इज कंसर्न.
this particular week, I enjoyed all the classes from Monday to Saturday. All the classes I enjoyed, and I think one of the reasons was that in the previous week in our discussion, we had mentioned something about the mind being quiet while doing those practices. So I tried that. That I paid some attention to what I'm feeling, and if I'm feeling tense, then the asanas will become like an exertion. But if the mind is quiet, then the asanas go very smoothly, and then I didn't feel any exhaustion at all, and I actually enjoyed doing all the asanas, and especially Vishnuji is now moving towards some difficult things, but I could do those without feeling stressed or strained. And but I like Sunilji, I also continue to lie down after the session. And I don't know whether I fall asleep, but I'm in a different state. And then after about 40 minutes, I get up. That is one thing, and the other thing is that I am also climbing the stairs as before, and there is no problem with climbing the stairs. And I also enjoy that now. So these are very positive developments. But now I am looking forward to those Shuddhi Kriyas and Mudras. So I hope in the month of March we are going to learn that. Of course, there is no rushing. Whatever is your program, will go according to your program. But I'm eager now to learn about Kriyas and the Mudras. And
I
the
don't
other
mind.
thing-
Sorry to interrupt you. Sir, बोलिए.
No, the other thing that I found as a variation was Jaikumar ji introducing Mahabandha after one round of Kapalbhati. Briefly, we do one round of Mahabandha. That is his variation in Jaikumar ji's session. That after Kapalbhati, we do Mahabandha and then again do the next round. So,
Okay.
of course, there will be some thinking behind it, but that is a variation that I found in the practice.
See, that Mahabandha is related to retention of the breath, either in or out, and you are still in that state. So maybe Jai Kumar is trying to go through that, and which is usually experienced after the practice of Kapalbhati. Whenever you do Kapalbhati, automatically you have to experience it. Now he is intentionally taking you through that. And these intentions tomorrow may start happening on its own. And related to Shuddhi Kriyas and all, very glad to introduce it to you. But at the same time, are we having the equipments? जलनीति करने के लिए जलनीति का कप होना चाहिए. सूत्र नीति करने के लिए वो रबर नीति होनी चाहिए. और फिर वो दंड करने के लिए वो रबर का दंड होना चाहिए. I will have Halima madam with us, my wife, to demonstrate everything, and I can give the lecture on it. But at the same time, without having personal attention there, this technology will not help us to get along very thoroughly in that kriyas as such. So it is better to avoid and learn it under the personal guidance of the teacher. So if Ashutosh sir is interested, I I have teachers in Pune who will be really glad to come across beside you and teach you those Shuddhi Kriyas. No problem with that. I don't mind. But learning it on the online sessions, it will not be ideal. It is better not to do that. Because see, while doing Shuddhi Kriyas, the teacher observes the indications by the student. Even while doing simple Jalaneti, if your eyes are becoming reddened, if there is something else happening, then it is going to give you, burning sensations in the eyes. And since you are already having hypertension, So it may be irritating you further. So how much salt to be added, less salt to be added, what should be the temperature of the water, whether it is to the body temperature, are you okay with that? All these things have to be considered and then going ahead with the practice. So hope I will be able to guide a teacher to you, sir. Yeah.
But if these kriyas are essential for our program, then I will definitely go and learn it.
Essential in the sense when the three doshas are imbalanced. Hatha Pratipika says you should practice. Heranda Samhita says in today's scenario, ऐसा कोई नहीं है कि जिसका त्रिदोष balance में है. It is not balanced. So you should practice. But at the same time, there are many kriyas. And there are very few that we are supposed to do, which we can. And we should go ahead only with those, not each and every one. So out of many, if you do few like 3, 4, it's more than enough. So this is what is the intention. Let's see how we can do justice to that. Yes, anything else?
Quite right. That is I think that is the appropriate course of action.
Yeah. Kriyas, we have seen the other effects also of kriyas, people becoming vulnerable and complaining of various other things. वैसे तो अभी तक कोई ऐसा seriousness वाली बात नहीं आई, लेकिन still online is not the mode of learning Shuddhi Kriyas. Yeah. Are we done? Jay Kumar, you are the facilitator today. You should rule.
Next we can go to Ashaji.
So this week was good. With 3 different teachers. It was a good experience with each and every one. Good. So if time permits, then I do a bit of stretching during the day, which I did all the 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And today also. And my walk in the morning after the class, I don't go to sleep. So I have my Nimbu Pani and then I go for a walk. So that is my...
Sorry to interrupt you, Asha ma'am.
Yeah.
With Sunil Bhai's and Ashutosh sir's, I was going to say, but I forgot to say this. After Shavasana, it should not happen that you are sleeping for 45 minutes or 1 hour after the yoga session. That is my suggestion.
Yeah.
You are enjoying, that is a different thing. But at the same time, you should not.
Yeah.
So you should be awake. You should come out. You should go. जैसे मैडम कह रही है कि चलने फिरने के लिए निकल जाना चाहिए, टहलने के लिए निकल जाना चाहिए, हवा पानी का एहसास महसूस करना चाहिए. That will be ideal in my view. Where if you are going for that rest of 1 hour or 45 minutes, that is not the right indication as per my experience. That's what I'm saying. Ma'am, you can continue.
Yeah. So all the 3 sessions, you see the sessions are done with the eyes closed. आपके सेशन में काफी ब्रीदिंग होती है तो आंखें बंद ही होती है. विष्णु जी के सेशन में also my eyes are always closed because basically we are doing lying down mostly, even sitting. Standing कुछ खास नहीं किया है तो which is very good. I like those asanas to do lying down. My eyes are closed, so the energy wastage is less and the energy conservation is more, even though the body is active. And again on Saturday we did more of breathing, so the eyes were closed only. So there is no need for sleep. Good. I mean, the mind feels very good, and then I head off for a walk. So good experience. अच्छा है.
Let me add one more thing. After completing the yogasanas, आपका session हो जाने के बाद में, at least for half an hour, don't take bath also.
Bath is, in my case, there is no bath after that. I have my Nimbu Adrak juice and I go for a walk, like I said. So just fixed. The bath is later.
Yes, yes. Please don't, because this is where there are a lot of changes taking place after the yogic practice. And once you are under the shower or letting the water come onto your body, there will be changes in this kind of effect that was taking place, and it may not do good to you. So please keep this thing also in the mind. At least half an hour तक आपको breathing नहीं करना है. You have to go only after half an hour. That way you can subject yourself. So this came to my mind. That's why I shared. नहीं तो ऐसा होता होगा कि आशुतोष सर बोलेंगे अभी साबिर भाई ने तो मना किया नहाने के लिए, अपना सोने के लिए, तो चलो मैं शॉवर के नीचे जाके नहा लेता हूँ. So let me become fresh now. So please take care of that also. Don't allow that to happen. In fact, lead yourself into an open environment and try to absorb the nature. I will prefer that. That will be the right way.
I do a 5-minute shavasana extra after the class so that the quietness remains, and then get on to the other activities.
Yes, yes, of course. That is okay. लेकिन जैसे आशुतोष सर ने बोला ना कि 45 minutes का nice sleep, or I don't know whether it is sleep or it is something else. So I was wondering now ये कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं है. So
So right, not just 45 minutes, कभी-कभी 1 घंटा, 1.5 घंटा and sleep in my case. लेकिन पता है क्या होता, सर्दी इतनी होती थी कि हिम्मत नहीं होती थी बाहर रहने की.
तो कहीं अभी वो आदत ना बन जाए.
नहीं, हाँ, एग्री. मैं आई एम कॉग्निजेंट ऑफ द फैक्ट कि ये ठीक नहीं है, लेकिन क्योंकि पिछले हफ्ते भूपटकर सर ने उजागर किया था, बट आई स्टिल थॉट आई शुड शेयर कि भाई ये हो रहा है, नोइंग सारा वो जो एक स्फूर्ति जो जनरेट होती है वो लूज हो जाती है. लेकिन बस मैंने इतना कहा कि रादर देन रिमेनिंग लिटिल fatigued, I still felt on balance it is better कि रिलैक्स हो जाओ, क्योंकि तो ठंड में और फिर आप इरिटेटेड भी हो जाते हो तो बाकी लोगों के लिए जरा मुश्किल हो जाती है.
One more thing. Now, catching on your words, when you say that because of that fatigue we go and relax, or that, so yogic practices should not be done to that level where you are experiencing fatigue. In fact, shavasana is meant for only that, where if at all you have come across any kind of fatigue, within that 10 minutes of shavasana you should be able to get it relieved. So this is an important understanding, because I know Guruji always repeating this, never subject yourself to any strenuous activity after yoga, never get into any kind of complete relaxation like sleeping and all after yogic practices. Be awake and try to be in your own working atmosphere. Whatever you do, that will be always better. This is how we are taking into it consideration.
This month I will take care to follow what you have said.
Thank you. Thank you. Should we stop here? Yeah.
Let's hear from Jaykumar. Let's see.
Ah, Jaykumar.
No, say. So from since February first week, my back is not very good. Something happened because of the home works. Some in-house works, and some harvesting season is going on. So I had to lift something. So my back was not very good. So I was not present. Last 2 weeks, full time. So I miss your classes, but I have recorded all the classes, and the last class, Friday, right? Last class was on Friday. That class I enjoyed very much, I had practiced like this in 2015. After this, I haven't practiced for what we have practiced here. So because we have no opportunity to practice like that, because the students doesn't like practice more Kapalbhati and Lom Vilom and all. They want to do 1 or 2 rounds of Kapalbhati and little Anulom Vilom and Shavasana. Everybody wants Shavasana for 15 minutes, so they'll be happy. Straight after the asana, they go to Savasana, they are happy. You're a good teacher. They will write it on the feedback book. Jay Kumar is a good teacher. So this, if you are in business, you have to, what to say, grease everybody, to, I don't know how to say it, but when I was in the resort, feedback book, they always read the feedback book. So if something written about me, good words, then then only they are happy. So I was giving like this, after Sammasana, little pranayama, then Shavasana. So I used to go like that, a little lazy. So this is the first time I've been practicing, this pranayama again. So I'm very happy. But still, I couldn't do last 2 weeks because of my back. I hope this week onwards I can again start practice. So
That is very nice to know, Jay Kumar. One thing I would like to tell you, unless and until it is your business and when you are supposed to show your employers that yes, people are happy because of you, until then it is okay. But always remember, when people are coming to yoga, they don't know what wrong has happened to them, and that's why they turn up to yoga. And we teachers need to take the responsibility of making it right. And in that also, if students are ruling us, "Ki ye karao, I would like to do this, make it this happen," then we are doing what they want. We are not doing what they need. So want and need, we should understand the difference between the two. The moment you come to this clarity of what is the need of these people and what they are wanting to do, wanting is something related to their desires, and need is what is there to be done in order to excel in going ahead. So when you start making them this understanding, they will enjoy and they will understand that Jay Kumar understands our needs and makes it possible. So now we are feeling more changes. So that things will be different. So think about this when you are doing it for people. So the things will become different.
So actually, I tried to explain all these things to them, and if someone, but these most are 90% of the women are stressed, tense, and they have family problems, and they are from 25 to 80. So it's difficult to handle them. Some people wants to study more. Then you have to pick them up and give them a separate class.
That means you are not married yet.
So that's the headache, The doctor knows. Doctor wants to reduce my yoga time for 45 minutes because he's getting more headache. I don't know why this is happening.
Sabir bhai, that's true. You can't tell desires and wants. Class छोड़ के दूसरे class join कर देंगे. Nobody listens.
Yeah, but somewhere we need to make them realize this.
Yeah.
That's what I said, na, when it is your business, when it is your bread and butter, then it is okay. You can get along with that. But at the same time, that is not the right way of going ahead with yoga. So this, we should always have this thing in the mind. Yeah.
Sabir, I was trying to teach primary to them. I'm when I'm looking at their face, I feel they're not happy. So I have stopped it after 2-3 days. Then I teach 2 rounds of Kapalbhati and maybe 4 or 5 rounds of Anulom Vilom. Then Shavasana. So I also, what I have to say, I also used to go like them, little lazy. Then later I was practicing little only, I'm also limited to, become limited person. So when I came to this group, I'm started, how to practice, and these two practices we cannot even compare. When I'm teaching there, it's like children's class. Little things you have to do, 3 posture. Then we are saying like that, you have to do like this, and then you make some stories to do, to make interest in children like that. They're going. Most people has no background in yoga, so it's very difficult.
No,
Sometimes
that's completely fine. Yeah,
Yes.
good. Nice to know.
Okay. Right.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you.
Great. Namaste. See you. Thank you.
Kumar ji, namaste.